I put a sign on that door saying "Do not enter." Because I came in once. That's the meeting. It's a loud noise anyway. When it so if I forget to take it down, then I start whether it's just it's the longest press conference ever. I'm filibustering. I think you're looking around the building. Yeah, I know. It's at 3 o'clock. It's at 4. Yeah, that's right. You just gotta make up your time. I bought it like almost a year ago. I'm shocked about it. Waited for your camera and your Did you get one of those basic wider and have it mounted kind of like a screen put up so this comes down? So when we have those eating pictures, that I did there, have to Photoshop it. To make it not look so bad. And I think that would solve it.
Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Really appreciate it and appreciate the coverage from the media. Just wanted to introduce Dick Curry, who is the president of the City of Mishawaka School Board, and we'll get right to action. Dick, would you come on up?
Thank you, Meg, and thank all of you for joining us today as we announce this very important milestone in School City's pursuit of excellence. But as we get ready to look to the future, I think we really ought to also take a moment to consider what's brought us to this point. Over the last 4 years, we here at School City have committed ourselves to an ambitious policy of transformative change. Our goal is to grow student and staff leaders in a culture of excellence and to be this area's educational destination of choice for families who want the best for their children and for passionate educators who want to make a good living making an important difference. This requires vision, careful planning, teamwork, discipline, and the type of leadership that inspires people to reach for the stars and also gives them the support they need to reach them. We've been extraordinarily fortunate over the past several years to have had that type of leadership from Dean Spiker. However, we've known from the beginning that Dr. Spiker would be with us for only a short period of time and would be an extremely difficult act to follow. That's why we conducted a unique type of search for his successor. Instead of posting the position and waiting to see who applied, we did something very special and very different. Approximately 1 year ago, the school board identified the characteristics our next superintendent must have in order to continue and successfully expand upon what we've already begun. Since then, we have worked with Dr. Bruce Staley to identify and recruit candidates from a very select group of current superintendents with an established record of success who fit our profile. Earlier this year, our board and representatives from a broad array of school city staff and constituents met with 3 very accomplished superintendents, each of whom would have been an excellent choice. But one of them stood out as someone who is uniquely suited by experience and temperament to take the baton from Dr. Spiker and continue our race to the top without missing a step. In a moment, you're going to meet Wayne Barker, who comes to us after 10 years of service as superintendent of the Bluffton-Harrison Metropolitan School District. But first, since Wayne is the type of leader who deflects credit from himself in order to promote his team, I'll share some details about a few of his many accomplishments at Bluffton that led us to select him as our next superintendent. 10 years ago, Bluffton was a financially distressed school system with a cash balance of only $9,025. Through decisive action and sound management, this balance grew to nearly $2,200,000 in just 7 years, during which time an additional $2 million was deposited into the rainy day fund, and school employees received significant compensation and benefit increases. During Mr. Barker's tenure, Bluffton reversed its prior history of rapidly declining enrollment and has increased its student count by 21%, with 16% of its students choosing to come from outside of the district. Bluffton was one of the first school districts in Indiana to recognize and fully embrace the benefits of using technology in the classroom with a 1-to-1 device ratio, and has been visited by over 60 school corporations. That's 20% of all Indiana districts to learn from its success. In 2017, Bluffton had a graduation rate of over 98%, with over 78% of its graduates pursuing further education through vocational schools, 2-year schools, and 4-year colleges. And this is with a free and reduced lunch student population of nearly 50%. Based on these achievements and his success in creating strong collaborative community partnerships to promote student success, last year Wayne Barker was selected as the District 6 Superintendent of the Year and was one of 3 state finalists for the Indiana Superintendent of the Year. And of course, Mr. Barker didn't accomplish all of this on his own. None of those achievements would have been possible without exceptional team effort and team support. And that's why I've saved what I consider the most impressive accomplishment for last. We all know that our people are our most valuable resource and that no lasting success is possible without their sincere and sustained support. When Wayne Barker began his tenure at Bluffton, the school culture was under tremendous stress. Teachers were 2 years behind on collective bargaining agreements and were marching around the school district office in protest. But that's no longer the case. Last year, the Indiana Department of Education conducted a statewide survey to assess school culture and teacher satisfaction. 100% of Bluffton's teachers participated in the survey. Due to the impact that Superintendent Barker's leadership style and team approach has had on Bluffton's school culture, its teachers reported their morale is substantially higher than their counterparts in the vast majority of other Indiana school districts. In fact, it's so much higher in every category that Bluffton's teaching staff is considered a statistical outlier when reviewing the bell curve charts on high teacher morale and job satisfaction. Wayne Barker believes in his staff and his students and has a long proven record of investing his considerable talent and energy in promoting their success. That's a recipe for success that has already proven itself in Bluffton and that we are confident will also pay huge dividends for our students, staff, and community here in Mishawaka. But that's more than enough for me. It's now time for you to hear from Wayne Barker.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Curry. I appreciate those very kind comments. I am extremely humbled and honored to stand before you. I appreciate the confidence that the Board of School Trustees of the School City of Mishawaka has placed in me to lead this incredible school district. I'm very honored by it. I can't say that enough, how humbling this entire experience has been. So to Mr. Curry, our board president, Mr. Emmons, our vice president, Mrs. Parks, our secretary, and board members, Mr. Pemberton and Mrs. Roberts, thank you very much for the support that you've given me throughout this process and for the opportunity to join this team and be a part of leading this district. The interview process gave me the opportunity to come here and spend a day. When I've shared with people that I interviewed from 10:30 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m., they find that amazing. And really what was amazing for me was just how fast that time went. It was a great day spent where we could talk and learn from each of the different departments about challenges that they face, the successes that they have, and we had a great discussion about all of those things, and it was just amazing for me to go through that experience. That evening, I spent some really good quality time then with the board, and very honestly, that put it over the top for me, where I came into the day with a lot of questions about the district, about people, and very much so that I have a great job, but I became very intrigued then about this job because of the way that day went and the impact that it made upon me. So I was very appreciative by the board to have that experience that day, and just very appreciative of getting now to come and be a part of it. I do want to speak a little bit to the closed search process that Mr. Curry spoke about. Quite honestly, without that process being used, I would not be standing before you today. Quite honestly, I probably would not have even known the job would have been open had it been listed or posted on a job vacancy list, because I've never looked at those listings, never considered leaving. But as a result of the closed process that was used and being identified as a candidate, I became intrigued by the possibility of coming here as the superintendent. And that process played out. The more I learned, certainly the more intrigued that I became. I would like to say a few words about Dr. Spiker. Dr. Spiker is someone that I had only really known of prior to about 6 months ago. And what I knew was that his reputation as a school leader is second to none. When I received the call to have lunch with him and Dr. Staley, that's not a call, that's not an invitation when you're in my seat that you turn down. Any chance to spend time with Dr. Spiker is something that you take. And what I've come to learn over the last 6 months is that, quite honestly, his reputation doesn't do justice to just really how elite he is as an educational leader. I stand before you today amazed at what has been accomplished in this district during his tenure, and I know he would deflect that credit to the team that is in place. He has continually said to me things about the team that's here, the collection of talent that is here, and I'm appreciative of that. I will tell you that it is intimidating to, and I've said this numerous times, to think about stepping into a position that he held. That's a high bar. It's an extremely high bar, and that in some ways is scary for me, but it's also what draws me here. I'm intrigued about an organization that pursues excellence, and without a doubt, the school city of Mishawaka is a place that does pursue excellence. I want to thank Dr. Staley, who was in charge of the process. Again, he was, his professionalism and integrity throughout that process made it very easy for me to continue each of the steps through it, and I'm appreciative of that. I want to thank Mr. Mike Pettibone. Mr. Pettibone is a former interim assistant superintendent here who called me and first made me aware of the opportunity, and the more he told me, the more I wanted to follow up and pursue it. So I thank him for his support, really all of my career, a big part of my career, and through this process here at School City of Mishawaka. To the members of the team that I've already met of the School City of Mishawaka, I say a big, huge thank you to you. I've left this office now numerous times over the last 6 weeks, and before I'm turning left out of the parking lot, I'm calling my wife to tell her the great things that I learned that day about programs, about things, opportunities that students have here that the girls and boys are fortunate to be a part of. But more than anything, I've talked to her then about the people that are helping to implement all of those opportunities for the children. I am extremely impressed by the team that's here, and I want to thank you for making Vicki and I feel so welcome already. You know, we're not officially starting until July 1st, and we're excited about this opportunity, and it's mainly because of the people that are here already. To my wife, Vicki, who's up here on the front row holding a cell phone, I want to thank her for going on this journey with me. I'm blessed to have her by my side, and as all of you get to know us, you will quickly find out that she's the greatest educator in our family. She's taught for about as long as I've been an educator, and she's an outstanding educator who does amazing things for children herself. So I'm impressed and blessed to be able to have her say yes to this journey for both of us. I do look forward to completing the transition and getting here. That's something that we are actively pursuing and trying our best to make that transition. But I say all that to say this. I realize that things are going well here. This is not a place that needs a superintendent to come in and change everything. That would be a mistake, and it's not a mistake that I will make. I will come here. I plan to capitalize on the momentum that already exists here so that we can continue to create a culture of excellence in this school district. I would tell you that the tenets of the Mishawaka Way are principles that I already believe in. I'm amazed at the structures and the systems that are put in place here to serve the girls and boys of this school community, and I'm excited to be a part of it. When I do get here, I intend to meet with as many stakeholders as I can. Had a great interview with the students of the network, Mishawaka High School Network TV station earlier today, which is probably my most intimidating interview that I may have today. But they were very thorough, and look forward to getting here and learning from as many different groups of people, honestly, as I can. It will be very important for me to do that as quickly as I can and to meet with as many people as I can. I understand how a community benefits when people work together. I think one of the things that impressed me about this position is the relationships that exist between the school community and the city of Mishawaka community. And as I reference the community, I'm thankful for that relationship that already exists, and I intend to try to build upon that relationship, that partnership, so that we can collectively serve the greater city of Mishawaka and the school city of Mishawaka collectively. Finally, I would like to conclude my comments just with some addressing some specific groups. To the 700 team members of the school city of Mishawaka, I say thank you. For what you do, you are to be appreciated, you are to be celebrated, and quite honestly, that's exactly what I intend to do. I appreciate people who serve in schools, regardless of your role. If you are someone who serves in schools, you're serving for the benefit of children, and that should be celebrated. And again, I look forward to getting here and supporting you in that process. To the parents that choose the school city of Mishawaka to educate their children, I also say thank you. I can assure you that we will continue to do everything within our power to provide world-class opportunities to meet the dreams and needs of the children that attend this school district. To any prospective parents, I would say do the same research that I did. Because if you do, you will be blown away by the opportunities that your children could experience by choosing to send your children to the school city of Mishawaka, much like nearly 1,200 students do now who reside outside of this school district. And finally, to the nearly 5,500 students that we serve at the school city of Mishawaka, I say three things. You will see me in your schools, you will see me at your school events, and you will be what drives everything that we do here at the school city of Mishawaka, and what drives me every day that I get up and come to serve here. Finally, just thanks to all of you. Vicki and I are very overwhelmed and feeling a major blessing by this opportunity. So thanks everyone.
Thank you so much to the two of you. That was great. We are going to conclude the press conference now and going to have some one-on-one interview time for the media that's here. So thank you so much for coming. And we'll see you tonight, hopefully, at the school board meeting or the reception before. Thank you very much for coming.